Hi, my name is Stella Myers, and my project is assessing the effectiveness of a digital face name memory platform for cognitive enhancement in healthy older adults. My mentor is Adam Lee, and I'm currently filming this from Westchester, New York. So, just to start with a brief overview of my project, I will start with background information and then move into an overall time span of my methodology. Then I will go into some of my intended data since I am still in the process of carrying out my research, and then I will wrap up with some conclusions and data interpretation. So starting off with background, including introductory statistics, my goal and purpose of the research. So cognitive decline in older adults is a very pressing issue. The rising population of older adults is projected to reach 1.6 billion by 2050, and when looking at adults aged 65 or older, 10 to 20% have MCI and 11% have Alzheimer's, and generally 30% of people aged 85 or older have some form of dementia. And these very serious memory issues stem from cognitive decline. So, what is the best way to decrease the risk of cognitive decline in these older adults? Brain training is a very promising approach. And why? Because first, it helps build cognitive reserve, which is the brain's ability to adapt and compensate for age-related changes or damage. Secondly, it also promotes neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to reorganize and form neural connections. So basically, in other words, that means maintaining a higher cognitive reserve and enhancing neuroplasticity leads to less cognitive decline, posing less of a risk for more serious memory-related issues. So face name memory is a specific type of memory that refers to the ability to remember and recall names associated with faces. So why face name memory is chosen to focus on in my experiment? Well, because it reflects real-life social interactions that older adults deal with every day with their interpersonal relationships, family members, friends, etc., and it is very crucial for communication. It also engages multiple cognitive processes, meaning that strengthening face memory helps improve memory performance in many different areas. So the approach of my research is a novel digital platform called FNAME CogniFuse, which is tailored specifically towards decreasing the risk of cognitive decline in these older adults. So the goal of my research is to assess the impact of FNAME CogniFuse on improving memory recall in older adults by analyzing both immediate and long-term retention of face name pairs. And the purpose of this is to support how brain training is a very valuable tool for improving cognitive function and long-term memory retention in older adults. So now we're going into my methodology, or the basic timeline, and also what I'm actually doing in my research. So first is patient collection. So I'm going to gather a sufficient sample size of around 30 or 40 older adults from a local senior center, which I already have, and collect demographic information, including gender, race, education level. And this is all collected via an anonymous consent form. And then after this, each patient will take a baseline assessment, which gives them a score of 0 to 8 and kind of analyzes general memory abilities from the start. This enables effective comparison when I do my data analysis later on. So step 2 is to apply the actual model to these older adults. So this is broken down into 3 main stages. First, the encoding stage, the break and delay stage, and then the retrieval stage. And each session is around 25 to 30 minutes, and there are 4 total training sessions. And I'm going to break each of these phases down right now. So first is the encoding phase. During this phase, patients are shown 10 faces and 10 names, which are all AI generated, and there is an example right here on the left. After they go through all 10 faces, they will click a button that says Next, and then there is a break phase, which is around a 15-minute delay period to allow for efficient memory processing. During this, a timer will click down, and participants are encouraged to continue normal routines, such as using the restroom, drinking water, or even going on their phone. And lastly is the retrieval phase. Now, the retrieval phase is broken up into 3 main phases, A, B, and C. And each of these regions assesses a different type of memory to improve various different regions of memory, which I talked about earlier. First, there will be a multiple choice section where a face will be presented and they will have to choose the correct name out of 4 options. After that's done for each face, they will move into the B phase, the retrieval phase, where they have to list all the names they can remember without any stimulus, whether it be first name, last name, or both. And lastly, in Retrieval C, they will have to state how confident they feel with their answers on a scale from 1 to 10. So basically, this breaks down into 3 different types of memory: recognition accuracy, free recall, and memory confidence. It's crucial to make sure that each of these regions of memory are being improved in order to mitigate various deficits in daily functioning which these adults may be facing. So the last phase is, or the last kind of stage in my methodology, is the longitudinal assessment phase. So like I talked about before, the training time is over the course of 2 weeks, 2 times a week, equaling 4 total training sessions per participant. So in order to understand both the long and short-term efficiency of my model, the same baseline examination will be given to the participants at the following time intervals. First, there will be an immediate assessment, which is 1 day after session 4, and then a long-term assessment, which is 2 weeks after session 4. And this will help me kind of visualize the data and see how their memory retention improves, stays the same, or even declines after immediately and after a little bit. So my intended data. So data collection, I will see quantitative measurements on face recall memory performance and qualitative feedback on participant experience. The quantitative measurements come from recognition accuracy and free recall, while the qualitative comes from the confidence. So how I will collect this data is I will get the correct responses from the platform, will be automatically transported to a spreadsheet where each participant will kind of have a score. And then also I will get data from the 0 to 8 scoring from the baseline examination, both at the baseline and then at the immediate effects assessment and long-term effects. And what I intend to see is that there will be an increase in recognition accuracy, free recall, and memory confidence over time. So data interpretation, what will I do once I collect this data? First is to compare results. I will take the baseline examination score and compare it to the immediate and long-term score. And also I will try and understand improvements between the 4 sessions. Second, I will use this data to kind of evaluate the effectiveness of this model, because if their memory performance improves over time, the FNAME Cognifuse is a very effective form to mitigate these cognitive deficits and overall reduce the risk of cognitive decline. So conclusions. Just to sum up, the problem that I talked about is that cognitive decline in older adults often includes difficulties with face name memory, impacting daily social interactions and the overall quality of life. So to address this problem, I will use FNAME Cognifuse, which is a novel digital platform, to improve face name memory recall and also see its potential for cognitive enhancement in these healthy older adults. So in my method, participants will undergo face name memory training using FNAME Cognifuse and also do a baseline, immediate effects, and long-term effects assessment in order to analyze memory performance over time. And I will get quantitative data on memory performance and confidence levels collected through assessments and surveys, making sure to analyze every single aspect of my research. Thank you so much for listening. And these are all my citations. Bye.